I'm still on my way to work, and tomorrow, I don't know, I might borrow my brother's car, who knows, depending on how bad the storm is. But I'm still thinking of riding my motorcycle in the rain. I've done it before plenty of times. And the funny thing is, you know how a lot of motorcyclists hate cagers because of the way they interact with motorcycles, and more often than not, you know, the ones riding in cars and trucks are at fault when accidents happen. And there have been quite a few accidents I've seen on the internet regarding people riding motorcycles. And there was a video of one where he got rear-ended on the highway, and he got thrown off onto the path of cars and trucks, but luckily the vehicle stopped before he got hit. And then there's another one where a lady, an Asian woman, was driving her FJ Cruiser, and she dropped her cigarette, and she decided to go pick it up and ended up running off the road and flipping a few times on top of a motorcycle that was parked like next to a house. So those are the recent ones, and there are, you know, too many to even talk about. But I don't hate people that drive cars and trucks, because I am one of them. And I've been driving on my own since I was 16. And I think I got my permit when I was 15. So I know how it is to be on the other side, in the side of the cagers. And I intend on buying a pickup, so I haven't, you know, set in stone that I'll be a motorcyclist, you know, forever. But the interesting thing is, you know, cars and trucks weren't around. Like within 100 years, there weren't any cars or trucks. Or maybe there was like the old first type of automobiles invented by Mercedes and Ford, I think. I don't know the exact dates, but they're close to 100 years from now. Or maybe even older. Cars might have been invented, or the automobile was invented maybe in the 1890s. Somewhere around there I read. I don't recall exactly. But in that time, not a lot has changed really. I mean, it still has four wheels, steering wheel, brakes, and it's been 100 years already. And you'd expect to have flying cars like in the futuristic movies out there, like in The Fifth Element, where the cars and trucks like hovered in the air, and like in the Jetsons. I mean, you'd expect. I mean, 100 years is a long time. I mean, for me, speaking as for myself, I expected, the technology to be more exponential in terms of the advanced flying vehicles. But I guess, science doesn't allow that because of the physics and just the elements. It would take a lot of energy to have a car hover in the air. And I think some people tried inventing a hovercraft or a flying car or truck, but they weren't too successful. And I'm gonna turn off my bike here while I'm at stoplight. And I don't see flying cars like the DeLorean in the Back to the Future movie. I don't expect flying cars to be around for a long, long time, if ever. Maybe if we're in another planet where the gravity is not as much as compared to the gravity on Earth, it would be easier for a heavy object to float in the air, thus allowing it to fly with less energy consumed. And the future for cars and trucks right now is electric cars or hybrids. And I think that's a neat idea to own a hybrid or an all-electric car like the Nissan Leaf, which is all electric. It's not a hybrid, but it doesn't take any gas at all, like some other electric cars where there is still a gas engine. And with the way the gas prices are going, I see the technology or the advancement of cars heading that way instead of flying cars in the future. And they even have electric motorcycles. And they will eventually perfect it to where it may able to compete with the gas-powered motorcycles. But the thing with those electric cars and motorcycles is that the cost. And right now it's really expensive to get them. But eventually, as time goes on, just like any new form of technology, the prices will go down and the demand will go up, and thus creating a market for it. And they will eventually mass produce everything. But that's it for this video. This is USS Princeton 2004 signing out.